Tattersall. As always, if you could just put your that you want to ask a question in the chat, and I'll call on you as we go. So, a lot of things going on my computer, but we'll get started. So go ahead, whoever would like to be first, jump on in there. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Verrado from SI. Jeff?
Evan, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay. Tell us what's the most important thing you learned from being around Evan Weaver the last year?
Oh man. I think most importantly just from the football side is just his mentality going into every play was to tackle the guy with the ball no matter what. And as you can see, that turned into a good amount of production for him. So I think that is what he kind of instilled in me ever since I got there. And then also just being a great friend and teammate. So.
And when someone who doesn't know him, like your family or friends, asked you to describe him, how would you do that? Not football player, but the other guy, the real guy.
Well, everyone knows as the football player, he's like a maniac and an alpha male on the field. But off the field, he's a super relaxed dude. He loves football, and he loves just being out, hanging out with the inside linebackers. We had a good group of guys last year, as we do this year, but with Colt and him, the older guys, and Coin. We had a lot of good friends. So he was just another one of the guys.
And Coin obviously was extremely productive last season as well. He seems to have maybe a different leadership style or a different kind of personality out there. Can you talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Coin's just super positive. I'd say he's also he's a great role model, and he does everything the right way in my eyes. So I think the way he's handled himself, as he came from junior college to straight into playing, and it's like he had been here for how 4 years or whatever. So it was awesome.
And Evan, how would you describe your personality on the field?
Well, I'm just kind of getting used to that role. I mean, we had the couple spring practices, and then it's been I think 11 or 12 practices. But I just try to communicate, do my job, and be positive out there, be a great role model for the younger guys, because we also have a lot of guys younger than me in our room.
And we just talked about a couple of strong personalities, but is it important for you just to be yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm not the most outgoing and vocal guy, but yeah, I think I can still be able to be. I mean, I'm still making the calls and everything, so I have to be myself, but also I'll just trying to be a great teammate to everyone. So
thanks, Evan.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we'll move on to Shaylin Singh from the Daily Cow.
Hey, Evan, what are some of the biggest aspects of your game that you've tried to improve over the off season and throughout camp so far?
Well, I think my biggest thing for me was when I was back home, I tried to cut down my weight a little bit, because when I was in high school, I weighed a lot less than I do now, and I was running really fast. And so I wanted to get back down to where I could be a little bit quicker, while also, I mean, I was still lifting and trying to get stronger, but try to cut down my weight, because I feel like I could run faster when I was around a little bit less than 230. So that was the biggest thing for me.
And then, is there any part of you at all that's nervous when you're giving hits or getting hit after your scary injury last season against USC?
No, I don't. For me, that was just, I've hit and been hit a million times since I started playing. That was just one that's happened to be unfortunate in the wrong place in the wrong time. But yeah, I've never had anything like that, and I don't anticipate anything like that again. Yeah, it was scary to the outside world, but for me, it was just dealing with that and then getting right back on the field as soon as possible.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we'll move on to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Yeah, Evan, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Again, all you guys on defense are growing good facial hair, so I'm
It's
kind of
been
jealous.
yeah, I haven't gotten a haircut in like 4 months. So I wore a hat, and then yeah, this has been a couple months or a couple weeks at least. So yeah,
Well,
it's
good
been.
work.
Thank
on
you.
that. How much, I guess it's kind of weird to say, but how much has your, understanding of the scheme had to increase over these past few months where you've been stuck inside, kind of learning the defense at a different level?
Well, it hasn't changed that much since I've been here, and I mean, I've had a lot of reps in practice to where I feel like I have a good understanding of everything. And so when we had gone over it lightly when we were back home, like in quarantine. But once we got back, we obviously had to kind of review everything. And I don't think for us, specifically me and Coin, there wasn't too much. It was like pretty quick in terms of how fast we were able to retain everything from previous. So I think it was easy, and I feel like we were right where we would have been had we been in like a normal setting. So.
And I know in the past, Coach Sermon has had you guys watch, like, I want to say the Jacksonville Jaguars as far as getting coverages and stuff like that. Is there any specific film aside from your own that Coach Sermon has had you guys watch to kind of get more of an idea of what you want to accomplish this year?
Yeah, a few NFL teams. We watched a lot of that, a lot of stuff from when Coach Sherman was at different schools as well. And yeah, I like watching. For me personally, I like watching the old Weaver film and also Fred Warner film. So
good stuff. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions for Evan? If you do have questions, please let me know in the chat. Not, we'll take it easy on him for his first one of the 2020 season. We'll get him later.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay.